Alright lads, so today we got a bunch of new news to talk about, ranging from new banners, new story mode, forthcoming updates which should drop at the end of the month, a lot of stuff, so make sure you guys do stay to the end because we are going to be talking about a lot of stuff. If you haven't already, by the way, seen my award show video, I do recommend you guys check it out. I basically took the last 2 days off because that video was an absolute nightmare to make, to say the least, but it paid off. It was a pretty fun video, the reception was great, I had fun making it, so no complaints then. But anyway, the first thing to talk about today is the 2 new banners, or 3 new banners actually coming out into the game. The first one being, to my knowledge, a Brave Selection banner. We're not sure the exact naming of it, but it should just be a Brave Selection banner, as expected actually. If you don't know, we did talk about the potential upcoming banners that we could get in the month of February. This is a quick TLDW, and so far it's looking like we pretty much called everything to the T, at least from these 2 banners that we're getting. So as you can see here, we do have 5th anniversary Byakuya and Ichigo returning. Alongside that, we also have Yoruichi and Soifon. Again, this is why you shouldn't have voted her in the poll selection. She's being thrown into every single banner known to man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But we don't know anything else about this banner, so we can't talk about it more than other than the fact that it should be a 5-character banner potentially, since there is only, it says guaranteed 5-star, not featured 5-star. There are only 10 steps. It's looking to be a Brave Selection banner, so alongside with these 3 characters, there should be 2 other characters in this banner. Hopefully they're good, and yeah, it's looking to be a decent banner. It only does feature premium characters, so I do advise skipping it. But if you are new, potentially trying to get your hands on 5th anniversary Ichigo and Byakuya, this might be a pretty good chance to get both of them in the same banner. Alongside that, we have Yoruichi and Soifon, who was voted the best premium of the year. Not that I agree with it, but, you know, okay, it's a decent banner. We have to wait and see what the actual fillers and step-ups are going to look like, but, yeah, it might be a decent banner to pull on. The next banner to talk about, though, is a banner that I expected to happen this month, and it turned out exactly how I said it would turn out. We did see in the Epic Raid that there were 2 random can't-viewed fillers, and I said, you know what, they're not there because they're getting their own banner. They're there because it's basically implying that Kisuke and Shinji are coming back, and they're coming back pretty soon. Like, I expected them to come back this month, but more so near the end of the month. But they're coming right at the start. February 7th is the day it does drop, and the banner does feature can't-viewed fillers. So this is what the filler is looking like. It should be a 0.5% chance for every character, 4.5% chance for a featured, 1.5% for an unfeatured, and every 5th step you are guaranteed a featured character. The banner itself, while Kisuke and Shinji are worth it, it really comes down to you if you feel like there's worth into this banner, because personally for me, if I was to summon on this, it'd be pretty much Kisuke or Shinji or bust. Loopy I don't own, but I would never use him. I own everyone else here, and I very rarely ever see myself using any of these characters besides, of course, Shinji and Kisuke. Of course, Aaroniero I force myself to use because he's my favorite character. I have to use him, right? Basically how I see it. But everyone else, there's like so much other better options. You don't have to use these characters. But you know what? If you don't care about meta, which is a great thing to not care about, then these characters are pretty fun to play around with. If you liked what they look like, then, you know, it's not a bad banner to summon on. Kisuke and Shinji, though, are pretty good. I think they're worth it. If you want to summon on it, that comes down to you. Maybe do the first step. But yeah, that again is coming out on the 7th. Now, on the same day, on the 7th, we're also getting a new type of banner called the Ichigo Kurosaki Selection. In this case, it features every single Ichigo. And they have done this in the past, in a few cases where we got free singles and stuff like that. In this case, though, it's an actual banner that you have to spend orbs on. It's kind of ridiculous, I know. Who is ever going to spend orbs on this banner? Right now, the only good character, or the really worthwhile character in this banner is 5th anniversary Ichigo, who is also coming back potentially sometime next week in a better banner with significantly better rates. The rates for this banner does appear to be a 5% pull rate, and apparently, it's only 250 orbs for a multi. And the reason why I'm specifying that is because it appears to be no step-ups, just literally 250 orbs like a premium banner. And the reason why this potentially makes sense is because it is a new type of banner that will be permanent in the game, and the characters featured will change every single week. So this one is an Ichigo Kurosaki selection, but it does appear to be a character selection banner. So every week it's going to change with another character. Let's say they pick Yoruichi, it will then feature every single Yoruichi in the game. With, of course, the exception of manga characters and can't-viewed characters, if they have a version of that. So it's only going to feature their premium and seasonal versions. And I like the idea. The idea of it is cool. Every single week you get a new character selection. Sometimes it might be Aizen, it might be Retsu, Rukia, Renji, Ichigo. It's a cool idea. Unfortunately, though, again, the step-up formula, or the lack of a step-up formula, is going to be kind of killing this banner. I don't think anyone's ever going to summon on this, right? If there was a step-up formula, and there was discounts and guaranteed 5 stars, which I don't think is too much to ask for, but I can see why they're potentially doing that, because there might be a case where they have 3 characters in a banner, right? Let's say they pick someone that doesn't have that many characters, the Sani, for example, who, to my knowledge, only has 2 characters, then I would assume they would share the 5% rate if they ever do decide decide to do Asane. I don't think they will be. I think they're going to be going for characters that have a large amount of characters in the game. So someone like Yoruichi, Toshiro, Byakuya, Renji are definitely going to get characters for this, maybe even Aizen. And if they don't feature 6 anniversary Aizen, then that's kind of a yikes. But yeah, other than that, that's basically the new Ichigo Kurosaki selection banner, which again will change every single week to other characters. The idea is pretty cool. I like the concept, but personally, I feel like the integration is very poorly done. With no step-up formula, there's really no reason to summon on it. It's like they don't even want you to summon on it, which is the exact opposite of what they should be doing, because why would you release a banner and then not want people to summon on it? It's like, it makes no sense, right? So, yeah, it's a bit of a weird one to me, but that's the new banners coming out into the game. The Untold Stories Round 2 with Kisuke and Shinji, the Brave selection with Ichigo, Byakuya, and also Yoruichi Soifon, and then we also have a new character selection banner, which will change every single week. Pretty cool stuff. And alongside these banners, we also did get the forthcoming updates, which didn't reveal anything too new, besides one thing I'll talk about in a minute, but it did give us the date of when we are going to be getting the Guild Quest team save, and also using multiple brushes in one go to save us a massive amount of time. And personally, I'm looking really forward to this update. Unfortunately, no mention of a, guaranteed pity system for accessories. That would be actually like the, the icing on the cake, personally, for me. At the same time, though, they did give us the New Year's Bankai quest, where I basically found like 5,000 Eden brushes, so even if I have to use like 201, which isn't likely to happen all too often, I'll still be able to max out most of my accessories that I do want to do. Very least though, it's still a positive change coming to the game, so I can't really complain. Now, what also was announced in this forthcoming update regarding the Guild Quest, team save, is that they'll be changing the rules mid-week. So for example, right now it's the merely a sword per week of Guild Quests, and it's going to be like that until Sunday reset. Well, with this new change, what would have happened if it was to happen in this week, is that let's say Thursday, Friday time, it would have changed to a new Guild Quest set of rules. So instead of being a merely sword per week, it would then be arranged a rank a week. So the main thing to take away from this change right now is that every week of Guild Quest is going to feature 2 sets of Guild Quests. So for the first half of the week, we'll have one type of Guild Quest, and the second half of the week, we'll have another type of the Guild Quest. Now, funny enough, this is actually very similar to the old type of Guild Quest that we used to have, where halfway through the week, the Guild Quest would change. In this case, though, I think we're in a lot better position, because we know what to expect. We know next week is going to be X week, right? And we know what team to use, for example. In the old Guild Quest, when it did change, it could completely ruin weeks for people, right? With the different set of bonus characters, it could be a bad map, you have to now learn a new map, and overall, the weekly change that we had in the old Guild Quest, it burnt a lot of people out very quickly. In this case, I don't think it's that big of a deal, because again, we know exactly what to expect. We've done these Guild Quests for like the last year or so, right? We know exactly what to expect. I know halfway through the week, it's going to be this type of Guild Quest, and I now have to use this specific team. So I don't think we're going to re-experience the burnout for Guild Quest like we did see, 2 years ago when we had that old system where, every halfway through the week, the map would change. You have to relearn the map. You have to watch these videos. There were some good and bad things about it, but personally, I feel like this change isn't really that bad of an idea. At the same time, too, because you are now getting 2 weeks of Guild Quest in 1 week, basically, the attribute of the bosses will also cycle through a lot faster, too. So certain characters that are a lot better when the final boss is the attribute they're strong against, for example, they can now be used more often than not. At the same time, too, if you want to look at it like this, for your Guild Quest specific characters, let's say Sergeant, for example. Sergeant is someone that I don't ever use a lot. I only use him in Guild Quests. So now, even though I'm using him less technically, because I only use him for like 4 or 3 days within a week, at the very least, I'm using him more often than not. So overall, I think it's a pretty decent idea, to say the least. My opinion might change after like actually experiencing this new schedule. I might not like it, but who knows? I don't think it's that big of a deal. However, I will say, there's one negative that I might experience from this change. This is a very specified issue that a few people have, and that is the fact that certain times I'll use a character as a main character for Guild Quest, to nuke, for example, with weakened defense, and sometimes I use them as a side character with damage to weakened enemies. So basically, every few weeks, I'll change the character's bonus abilities from damage to weakened enemies or damage to X enemies to then weakened defense when I'm using them as a main. However, with the new schedule being a lot faster now, basically 2 Guild Quests in 1 week, it now means that I might have to spend more link slots more often than not to change my character's bonus skills. Again, a very specified issue for a very small amount of players, but I do feel like it is worth mentioning, and that might be one of the drawbacks to this change for a very small selection of players, and that includes me personally. So yeah, that's the only negative thing I can see about it. Other than that, I think it's a potentially positive change. Who knows? We have to wait and see how this one does play out. And then saving best for last, we have a new Spirits Arc Overview chapter coming out. So we have part 3 of the story coming out potentially halfway through the month. Looking forward to this one, mainly just to actually see the progression of the plot go forward, because again, there's no official official way to actually read Spirits Off of You, at least in English. So one of the only ways to do it, the only way right now, officially, is to, funny enough, read it in game. And while it's true the game obviously does cut a lot of stuff because it's a very long story being ported into a mobile game that's very short, right? You know, just text dialogue. It does skip a lot, but it still gives you a basic understanding of the characters, their motives, and who the actual characters are, which is something that the game does need because we have yet to receive an actual novel character. Of course, we received Bakara, but they were with Don Kanoji. We don't know much about Azashiro, Roka, CN Grants, for example, Kiryushiki, so I feel like they're actually doing a pretty good thing getting most of the story out there before they even do introduce those actual novel exclusive characters, which should hopefully come sometime this year, right? And by completing the story mode on both normal and hard, you will get yourself 266 orbs, so pretty decent stuff. Kind of curious to see if we're going to get some models of the characters here as part of the story mode. And for those wondering too, this does not confirm that Spirits After With You is coming out at the end of the month. We got beta with part 2 that came out halfway through the month and it meant nothing. The same thing is probably going to happen here because it was data mined now. Because it was data mined now, it's probably going to come halfway through the month, and whether we get a Spirits After You banner at the end of the month is unconfirmed. We don't know, but this doesn't confirm anything. I'll say that. Part 2 came out and end of month ended up being something completely different than Savoy. So yeah, don't take this as a confirmation as Spirits After You Round 4 coming out this end of month. But I can pretty much guarantee it's going to be either this end of month or next end of month. My guess and hopeful guess is that it's March's end of month because that means more time to save. And that's what I think we all personally need right now. So anyway, lads, that was the video for today. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Let me know what you lads think about the news that we did get this morning. And I'll see you lads next time. Peace.